Hello audience, I thought I'd give you guys a quick update. In South Africa at the moment we have a 4-day weekend. It's a long Easter weekend, so we're going to get cracking with a lot of mini projects that I've been putting off for a while. Let's have a look here. I've got the two front wheel hubs here. I obviously need to paint these before I put them back to the vehicle. When the brakes were upgraded there was a lot of cleaning up that was done, so I'd like to paint them black again and get them on the vehicle as quickly as possible. Here you can see the extensions that were done, and I'll just take you through what happened here. Basically, the carriers for the calipers mount onto these points here. So what they've done is they've added this to the wheel hub to allow the bigger discs to fit onto the mounting surface here. So I need to paint this as well. This is exposed metal here and here. So if I fit this to the vehicle now like this, it's going to rust. And this is stuff that you don't see again once it's on the vehicle, so it's going to rust internally, and eventually I'm going to have a problem. So I need to paint this surface as well as this area here. Now obviously I'm not painting the disc mounting surfaces here. I'm literally just painting the castings. So once that's done, I'm going to do about 4 or 5 coats on this just to let it set. Once that's done, this can all go back together and go straight back onto the vehicle itself. Mini project number 2. Here we have the carriers and the calipers for the front disc brakes. Now, as you can see, these were also acid washed. So I was going to paint these either black or silver with a high heat engine enamel. I haven't decided on the color yet, or if I'm going to paint them at all. Luckily, these can be left as is. So I'll have to make up my mind whether or not I'm going to do that, but if I'm going to do it, this is the time to do it because they're off the vehicle. Now, as you can see here, I've got some anti-rattle clips. So these fit onto the carriers to stop the pads rattling while you're driving. They're very important. That's the only job they function, but if they're not fitted, these things may wear unevenly. Now I also have here, which is quite lucky, these are new drive shaft bolts. So the drive shaft will fit here through the front wheel bearing and get bolted on with these. So this was quite a win. I was expecting to have to tidy up the old ones, and the old ones were in shocking condition, but luckily I managed to get a hold of these. So that's basically going to sort out the entire front once everything is together. Let's move on to project number 3. And mini project number 3. My center console. So first off, let's have a look. My VDO gauges, these are quite old, they are original gauges, but you can see here along the faces of the rings that the paint is worn off here. So I need to take these rings off the gauges themselves and give them a nice coat of high gloss paint. The reason why I want to take them off is I don't want to have to mask the glass here. These are glass, not plastic. These are original VDO gauges. So I don't want to get overspray onto the glass. I want to take the rings off, spray them separate, maybe 2 or 3 coats, and then slap them back together. I can also then clean inside the glass. You probably can't see in the camera, but there is some dust on the inside of the glass. So I need to clean those and then put the whole things back together. So let's have a look what else I'm going to do with the center console. So as you can see here, the console flares out quite a bit. To counteract that, I need to fit these brackets. Now there are some plastic pins that mount here, and obviously they go through these. So these will bring them back to the original shape and hold them nice and firm. It'll stop them flapping while you're driving. Some of the aftermarket ones don't even have these holes. This is a nice original one. So with these flapping, it can create cabin rattles. These are original parts, so they're quite hard to find. Most people take them off and chuck them away when they change the center console. I'm going to try and get the camera to focus on the part number in case you're looking for them, but that these will be scrapyard items. I doubt you'd find them in a factory anywhere. No focusing. I'll include the part number here in the description. Oh, still focusing on the background. Let's move on to the next mini project. Mini project 4. Right, so this is the wiper arm control cam, basically. You've got the motor here, and you've got this bracket which will hold the arms here and here, and then this cam makes the wipers actually move. So as you can see, this was in the vehicle at some stage during its many resprays. So there's overspray on the threads here. This is going to look messy. It's a different red to the final red that I went through. So I'm going to clean these up. Now I'm having a hard time finding a good lithium based lubricant, so before I can take these mounting pins off and clean this up, I need to get I want to have the lubricant first. So basically all that's going to happen here, I've got some nice hammerite paint. I'm going to do the arms in silver, this mounting plated black again. You can see it was originally black, these were originally silver, and then at the back here there's quite a lot of dirt and grease. So all I'm going to do here is wipe this down, give it a good clean, maybe rewrap the wiring. Everything works, it was working fine on the vehicle itself. So I'm just going to tidy this up, make sure that everything is nice and clean, especially these contacts here for the plug that goes in there. And then basically that's done. I do need to borrow a mate's vise, but I'll show you here. This is where all the lubricant needs to go. These little ball joints here. So I need to make sure that it's properly lubricated, otherwise these exposed ball joints here will rust. So that's just a little bit of aesthetics. Unfortunately you won't even see this when this is mounted back into the vehicle. This goes inside the rain tray, but the project wouldn't be complete if this was left in this condition. So that shouldn't take longer than about maybe an hour cleaning this up, spraying it, but it's an extra hour that you know, you can put down to completion. Let's move on to the next mini project. And the final mini project for the long weekend. So what do we have here? Sort of Golf Life taillights, no problems, nice and clean, but the previous owner obviously had an issue with water filling these up. So what they've done is they've taken a soldering iron and they've melted holes, which I can only assume were to drain the water out. Now he didn't do it flush against the body of the taillights, unfortunately. He did it here on the faces. So I need to sand this down with very fine sandpaper to get the ridges off here. And once that's done, you know, once it's nice and smooth, I need to polish it to get rid of any sanding marks, because unfortunately, like I say, it's here on the face. And then I'll probably hot glue them closed again. Now, I don't know why he did that, because there are actually drain holes already. But you can see, you may not be able to see, there was quite a lot of water contamination in these lights. So that's the last one for this long weekend. I'm hoping to get this all done before Tuesday when we go back to work. And finally, a very important update for you guys. I get all new shocks on Tuesday when we're back at work. So I'm going to take these, I'm going to load them into my Cabrio now. I get the new shocks and the new top shock mounts and bearings and bump stops. So as soon as I have those from my supplier, I'm driving off to one of my suspension places. I'm going to get the springs and everything transferred over to the new shocks, and then as soon as that's done, I'm getting the OEM stub axle as well. So that means I can get the drums fitted, transferred over from the old one along with the brake lines and the handbrake cables. All that goes onto the new rear axle, and that can go back into the vehicle. Also, once the new shocks are installed and the new top shock mounts, those can go straight into the vehicle as well, which means that we can then speed along and get the vehicle back on her wheels. I'm hoping to have it back on her wheels by the end of next weekend. We'll see how much help I can get on that, but I'd like to get her back on her wheels so that the following weekend she gets towed back to the panel beater, and the panel beater can do his magic again and get the car looking 100%. There were a couple of paint issues that I picked up, you know, now that I've had a chance to look up and down and underneath and all the rest of it. So I need to get that fixed before I can actually carry on with the project. So once she's back from the panel beater, that's when things should really get going. I need to do the soundproofing, I need to do the carpet, roof lining, all the electrics needs to go in. At the same time as the car is in the panel beater, I'm going to start cleaning up the engine, so I might do a video on that tomorrow, just so that you guys can have a look. But yeah, things should really start get going once the vehicle is back from the panel beater. Hi guys, thanks so much for watching. If you want to see more and be kept up to date, please follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and subscribe to my channel. With your help, we can get this project complete and move on to the next one. Bye for now.